let's talk about your thesis on commodities. Historically speaking, we've seen other cycles where commodities have broken down, and it has not necessarily meant that it's the end of the world.
Yeah, I think people look at the commodity collapse as, signifying great global weakness, perhaps even the beginning of a deflationary spiral, and then, if nothing else, very spooky to have this happening in the middle of a global recovery. But when you look historically, in 3 of the last 4 recoveries in the United States, dating back to the recovery in the late 1970s, we have had mid-recovery collapses in commodity prices, just like the one we had here. And in every case, once commodity prices bottomed, number one, the recovery went on. Number two, the economy almost instantaneously accelerated. Number three, bond yields started to go up almost instantly with the bottom in commodity prices. And within a couple months, usually, the core rate of consumer inflation accelerated fairly significantly. So a lot of those things are almost just the opposite of the things that people think the collapse in commodity prices signify for the future. And if we are bottoming out here, I would suggest that we could return to concerns about inflation and interest rates quite quickly in this recovery.
Well, and that's exactly my question to you. And I apologize, I called you Jim because I'm thinking about my friend in Chicago. But James, let's talk about what we're seeing in the market. As I was discussing with the gentleman when we gave the S&P trade, we've seen so much volatility here. Could this be a signal, though, as commodities aside, maybe commodities were reacting to the drop that we saw in stocks. Could it be a signal that, things are not as good out there and a lot of central banks are holding up different economies, not just here at home as well?
Well, I think commodities are going to find a bottom here. I really do. And I think they might be in that process. I mean, if you look at West Texas Intermediate crude spot price, right now it's a little over $42. It was, it bottomed in January at 44.5, March again at 43.5. And so I think this is more of a bottoming process going on this year than a continued collapse.